Jamie, next question.
Yeah. The 70s was a time of change. What was going on during that time period? What was going on in Champaign?
I would say the most important thing was prohibition. Whether or not they wanted to open up liquor, they had a liquor law, as I understand it. Charleston, to a point, was major dry, um, and then it had one or two bars down there that you could buy alcohol at. Here in Champaign-Urbana, we had uh, Piccadilly's, I believe that's what it was, had a store over here on University Avenue. Besides, you could buy bootleg beer, whiskey, whatever it be on the weekends, wherever you want to buy it at. On the weekends through the week, because they didn't have a modernized facility, but they had a Piccadilly's over here, a halfway store. On the side over here, right over here on the corner, between 6th and 5th Street on University on that side. When the mayor came in, and a number of mayors we had come in and decided to make a all week long liquor, except for giving respect to churches, in order to say that you couldn't have the liquor stores that opened up between, I guess, say from 8 till didn't open up to 12 o'clock and served from 12 till 6 on Sunday. That to a point brought a big change about different people's attitude, or whatever it may be. They could have paid alcohol and still be able to enjoy the weekend, whether or not you worked on Sunday or Saturday or whatever. But alcohol was free. Now, what you was drinking, hey, it was questionable. They had dollar bottles boomed for them that you pay $8 to $10 now for the same thing, just watered down and mixed with something else. Night train, the same thing. Uh, you know, what do you call it? Different types of wine. They used to have, anyway. But the thing is that that was the biggest thing. And now you have liquor stores like you have a mega liquor store out in Savoy. Carries all the brands of basically the United States. All the brands of whiskey, all the brands of beer, wines, and everything else. That's our warehouse. And for the rest of the Champaign-Urbana and the University of Illinois can um, explore, buy, taste, or whatever it may be, and know to a point what section or region that alcohol comes from. This is a local warehouse. It made a change in attitudes about dispositions of people. When you work construction or whatever, and you turn around in certain bootleg houses or certain places, you buy beer, and they put it in a cooler, and they might put rock salt in there, and they might put a little antifreeze in there to make it super cold and make your thirst quench. To quench your thirst, but it also kills you. So now you can buy about the 12-pack or 6-pack or whatever it may be, and it's fresh. And a lot of stuff don't harm other people. And everybody don't catch an attitude and want to go blow somebody's head off, for some reason or another. Just because of what they eat and food's the same way. Where you got a Snooks or Walmart or a county market or whatever. You have a variety of foods here. We have a large warehouse you have a couple warehouses up here. Just say one on Lincoln Avenue to a point that supplies all the demands and that we need here in Champaign-Urbana or the Midwest. And as long as it doesn't come up there and get contaminated, or somebody messes with it or whatever, cut the electric off and let it all melt down. It's okay. Everybody's pleased and happy. Mm-hmm. But we on a short fuse a little bit from the 70s to the 60s because everybody, to a point back in the 70s, thought everybody was on drugs. Went to a point they was going through a transformation of, say, lead in the water from the Great Lakes, or nuclear reactions, or gasoline, lead and gasoline, which we don't have, I think, anymore. Used to have a purple, they call it purple haze. basically was talking about Chicago and all the steel mills was up there, to the point giving off all this purple and red and ash haze over the city. And once you enter the dome, just like you enter here in Champaign-Urbana, we're under a plastic dome. Once you enter the dome, you don't tell what's going on. You don't know the difference. And you might not feel the after effects until a week or 2 weeks later. That's the difference between the 70s then and the 70s now.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot better cleaner air qualifications, and we have control, hopefully control, over what we eat and how we want to eat it. And drink bottled water or anything else. So far we don't have a modernized air conditioner that can stick a hose out the window. You know what I'm saying? And let the air run up for this complete room instead of putting one of those heavy units in the window. Anyway, that's getting on to something that I ain't got no knowledge of. so go ahead.
What was happening in the summer of 1978, the years the mural was painted?
What was happening?
Yeah.
1978. Vietnam was over with, I believe. Oil prices were, the fight for oil in Vietnam, I believe, somewhere around that way. It was ending up at that time. The fight over whether or not we want to control the oil rights in the Vietnam region, or control the marijuana stalks. Hey, that was about the major thing I seen.
What do you remember most about the mural?
It was cold. My boy that came up in here, he was a year and a half, 2 years, along with your daughter. Yeah, yeah. Me and Angela worked out there on that mural, part-time. She did. I took and went home. I don't know who she negotiated with or what it may be, but I do know that the owner of the shop, card shop, he was working on little Corvettes. And he was remodeling those, restoring those. And he invited us in to keep warm. And I believe that Angela didn't take us up on that. Am I correct? Yeah, we did not use the shop. It was a spray paint shop.
We used the shop to store the stuff.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, we used the shop to store the scaffolding and the paints.
Yeah, okay. But, you know, as I said, like, cold, no participation. She was a hard worker at it. She laid it out just like you lay out Angelo or Deventi painting. Squared it up, painted it. I said, well, you know, she got her own methods and how she want to use it and how she want to apply it. And to a point, I was just a supporter there. Matter of fact, one of her few supporters that, to a point, stuck by her almost until it was finished. Until my job, to a point, demanded me to work those long hours up there. Process, same thing as those paintings or those drawings on the wall. We could have used masonite, or which is now, which wasn't invented back then. They had a thing called formica, I believe so, which was something similar to this here. And if we would have scratched the surface or sandblasted the surface, we could have stuck it and made a frame and took it inside, worked on it in the warm weather instead of working out there in the cold. Could have used the oil paints. But see, the difference between working outside on concrete is that the concrete, to a point, is preformed. And this was aged concrete wall. Even though we sandblasted, it was against the wall was facing north, which didn't mean they didn't get direct sunlight.